Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to another Chamber Check-in episode from Idaho's only five-star accredited chamber. Today, we get to hear from an organization that is helping victims of survivors of human trafficking heal, grow, and build safe lives. I've got our executive director with us today, Paula Barthelmess. I'll bring her on stage right now.
Hi,
Hi,
Paul.
Paul. Hi, Paula.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for carving out some time with me today.
Of course, my pleasure.
I was reading in the paper, I think maybe the Press Tribune today, about National Human Trafficking Month.
Yes, yep. January is National Human Trafficking Month across the whole country, and actually, Idaho itself adopted it as specifically Idaho Trafficking Month. And so we have a lot of great things that's been happening in Idaho, and will continue to happen for the next week.
Paula, it's an interesting topic to talk about. I don't see it every single day. So it's interesting that there's an organization that is actually helping hundreds of people. And so this is really unique opportunity for you to share with me today and our listeners. So let's start out with just kind of the overview of when it started. You're the founder, I see, and
Yes.
executive director. So tell us a little bit about you, Paula. What's your kind of background and history of work that led you into this type of work?
Sure, absolutely. So I am, by trade, I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been a trauma therapist for 25 plus years, and I actually owned and operated a community mental health agency. And about 12 years ago, 11, 12 years ago, I started noticing that there was some really maladaptive sexual things happening within our community. And so when I took a deep dive down into seeing what was going on, I discovered domestic trafficking. And as I just hit the ground running, I found that domestic trafficking is everywhere. Our Treasure Valley has a very abundant amount of it, as does the whole country.
No idea, right? And I'm so glad there's organizations like yours that's helping these victims. When did this start? When
So
did
Idaho
the
Cobs.
Cobs start?
Yeah, so at that point, which was about 10 and a half years ago, I just decided that I couldn't not see it. I had to do something about it. And so I founded Idaho Cobs, and we just hit our 10-year anniversary this last September with we new branded, and we just did a bunch of great things. But we to date have served in our safe house, which we have Idaho's only actual real safe housing for victims and survivors of sex trafficking. And we have housed 165 plus women in the past 5 years that we've had our houses open.
Incredible. Thanks for all that work, Paula. So were you ever involved in, it's a nonprofit, obviously.
Yes.
Is this something you've done before? How did you get this off the ground?
Yeah, no, actually, this is the first nonprofit that I've ever been involved in. And like I said, I owned and operated community mental health agencies, and so as a trauma therapist, but I just didn't know what we needed for this particular population. And I, like other people, many other people, thought trafficking was just an international issue. I'd
Yeah.
never thought that it was in our backyard, and definitely didn't think that it's our own Idahoans that were trafficking. And in Idaho, the biggest demographic is familial. And so that's a big range of, we're trafficking our own people, our kids, our grandkids, our boyfriends, our husbands, our wives. It's across the board. And so I really just felt that I couldn't not see that. And I had to jump in and gather a team. And we've been fighting trafficking and dealing with it ever since.
What does Cobs stand for?
So it used to originally, when I created it, was the outreach behavior services. But with our new branding in September, we changed it. We changed our logo, and we changed what it stands for. And it's creating opportunities beyond survival. Because these victims and survivors, when we get to them and they find us, we know that they need a full transformation. And as we see them start to grow and start to provide, we provide safety and food restriction is one of the number one ways that traffickers get their people to be submissive, is through that. And so we provide all of that. And so that was a perfect name that we came up with, was creating opportunities beyond survival.
You had mentioned 165 victims or survivors of
Yeah.
trafficking. Can you tell us some more of the impact that the Idaho Cobs has been able to um, support, I guess, for lack of a better term? What are some of the other data points that we should know about?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the 165, that's just the women that we've housed in our safe houses. We actually have an open caseload of 40 to 60 women on a weekly basis that we work with. And I've been doing this a long time, and I'm still meeting 2 to 4 brand new victims and survivors a week, every single week that I've never met before, to be able that are reaching out that need help. We reach women in the prisons, in the jails. I go into the county jails basically on a weekly basis and meet new women that have been identified as a victim or survivor of trafficking. We meet them through the judicial system, through law enforcement, and so it's a bigger epidemic than people realize.
I was on your website quite a bit this week, just learning and trying to get up to speed. Safe housing, survivor support, community change,
Yeah.
and some of the different impacts of the total clients served, survivors sheltered in safe housing. This is an interesting one. 3,664 nights of safe housing provided. That's got to be huge for folks
Yeah.
that are experiencing this.
Absolutely. We also take in, we have a home for women and their kids, because children are impacted by this. And we know that we're not going to save them. We know that if we can just plant seeds for them to pick better choices, right? So that the safety, they want to do safety. And our goal is to stop some of that generational trafficking, because in Idaho and many rural states, generational trafficking is a thing. It's a big issue. And so one of our goals is to stop that generational trafficking.
Absolutely. As I scroll through your website here, there's a what we do spot on here. So tell us a little bit about um, when you're with these folks, these victims,
Uh-huh.
and they've come to you and you've housed them.
Mhm.
What are some of the life skills and daily needs that you're helping them with?
A voice. We just give them a voice, because 99% of them have had that voice taken away. And we all know that in society, you and I, Paul, we need our voice. We need to be able to say what we want, what we don't want, what we want to eat. And these individuals, 95% of them, 99% of them, don't even know how to speak for themselves. They've had all of that psychological conditioning done. They don't know how to make some of their own choices. And so we help them get out and be able to feed themselves, start working, continue their education, do all the things that they need to do so that they can be community members like the rest of us, without living in fear, without somebody raping them and beating them and all the other different things.
All right, you got to share a couple success stories, Paula.
Oh, yes.
We want to hear that stuff too.
Yes. Oh, we have so many success stories. We have women, unfortunately, the reality is across the country is victims and survivors will go back out into what's called the life or the game 4 to 7 times in their lifetime. And so we feel the success is, even if they leave us and they go back out one time and come back and go, wait, I want to do it different again. I want to, it's faster. We have women that are living independently, that have gotten their children back, that are working. We have women that have been out of our program. We've had our house 5 years, and we have some that's been out, that came through our program and have been out 2 or 3 or 4 years, that are successful. And now they are back as survivor mentors for other.
Wow, that's truly remarkable, even to impact one life, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's incredible. How do people that may be experiencing human trafficking connect with you? I saw in the paper too a hand signal um, to recognize somebody that is experiencing human trafficking.
Well, and in some areas, yes, that works, but in so many different areas, the issue with trafficking is it's so different. Every trafficker is going to react different, and they're going to take their women and men, boys and girls, because there's just as many males trafficked as women, and so their conditioning is going to look different. And so what one person might learn, the next victim may not know those hand signs. But one of the things that we look for is we look for the homelessness. Are they experiencing homelessness, or are they with people that are significantly older, especially the younger girls? There's always different things that they can learn reach out to somebody, ask for help, ask to somebody, if you're with somebody that you don't feel safe with, let somebody know. The rest of us look, and as we become educated, I definitely recommend human trafficking 101 trainings at any time that anybody can, go and attend one, especially in the different areas. What it looks like here doesn't necessarily look like that in bigger cities and different places. And so every place is different. Yes, learn the hand signals, learn all of the things, but watch for the signs and watch for the little signs. If you need help, call this number. We have a 24-hour crisis phone number that we get calls on all the time from people, even out of our area.
Wow. So you mentioned you provide a human trafficking 101. Is that something that
yes, we actually absolutely. We actually just provided one last week here in lieu of trafficking month. But we also come into businesses. We were into a real estate. They had a real estate training, a quarterly, what's called block training. And we come into any businesses, any churches, any communities, any homes, even for one person, because we feel one person trained is one more person that's going to be able to see it.
Absolutely. Okay. The inaugural gala coming up in April. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, we are so excited. Our first gala, April 25th. It's at the River Club. And what it is our volunteers, we have an amazing team of volunteers. They have named our women, just for their confidentiality, flowers. So each female has a flower that's designated to them. And that's kind of how they're identified through our program. And so our gala is Watch the Garden Grow. And we're going to have a great celebration with survivors that are going to be there, that have already come out, that are already actually helping us, because we'll never exploit the women that are currently in our treatment programs, but those that are now stepping forward. And we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate their new life. We want to celebrate all the other flowers that are growing right now.
April 25th at the River Club. Can you get tickets and purchase some tables and stuff at idahocobs.org?
Absolutely. We would love more sponsorships. We're always looking for sponsors. We're always looking for people to just come to the table and find out who we are, what we're doing. And we're always looking for volunteers as well, because women need women. Women need healthy women. And so we're always looking for great, amazing women who just want to sit and have a cup of coffee with somebody who doesn't know how to sit and have a cup of coffee in a safe environment.
Okay. Well, you've told us how to engage with you this April. All year long is, the need, right? So how can businesses and individuals connect and be a part of what you guys are doing?
Yeah. First, let us come in and train your businesses. 100%. I would love to come and have a very informal, a very formal, whatever it is that fits your business. Please allow us to invite us in your door. Second, to become monthly sponsors. On our website, there's areas that you can become a monthly sponsor. I get people are busy. I get that, life is hard sometimes. And so sponsorships, mentors, volunteers, do fundraisers. We'd love to be benefactors for fundraisers where we can help share what we do.
I'm also helping remind myself, it looks like on your website, Get Involved, it says there's a wish list, supplies. You mentioned giving monthly, volunteer opportunities, host a training on site. So you've got it all covered, Paula.
Good. I covered them all.
All right. Hey, we got a couple more minutes, and I wanted to make sure that during our conversation, if there's anything else that you'd like to educate the public on while we have you, it's your time.
Great. I will. I really want people to know that victims and survivors, they look like us. They look like us. There is no age demographic. There isn't when we think about trafficking, we think of these young women or young men. No, we have housed women clear up to 62 years old in our safe house recently. So it's any age, any demographic, any ethnicity, boys, girls, men, women, they're all over the place. And so if you
Well, Paula, we missed the last couple sentences there for some reason. We love our internet.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Anyone who's listening, take the opportunity to review the idahocobs.org website. Get some tickets to the April 25th gala. Learn more. If you're a business out there invite them into your business to help them educate
Yes.
you on what's going on. I think that's those are 3 things right there that you can do to engage with Idaho Cobs. Paula, thank you for all the work you do, the work that your board does, as well as your team.
Thank you so much for having us, and we look forward to talking more.
Absolutely. Paula, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for your membership with the
you.
chamber. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.